Hey guys, welcome back to the Pizza Story podcast. Today I have a really special guest, Audrey Kelly from Audrey Jane's Pizza Garage out in Colorado. So, Audrey, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, I absolutely have been stalking your Instagram page and pizza looks so amazing. And I read a little bit about your story online, but I want to hear from you. How did you get started in the pizza industry?
I mean, I would say it goes all the way back to my dad's love of pizza. That was like always our go-to celebration food, a slice of pizza. But I really, I really discovered pizza or like wanted to be in the pizza industry when I was in college and I was in Italy on like a journalism internship. And I fell in love with it, I guess you could say. I love the simplicity of it. I had done some culinary classes and I was in school for journalism, but I wanted to focus on like food writing or something in that area. So it was all kind of interconnected, but I just, I'd worked in a lot of kitchens. Worked in high-end kitchens, more casual spots, but there was something about pizza that just really drew me in. I love that you could create something so complex out of such simple, like bread, sauce, and cheese, basically.
Yeah, I love that. And I will tell you, I really love your story because I actually went to school for communications and journalism too. And then I had marketing companies. And then I kind of pivoted to like writing a book about pizza and now doing a pizza podcast.
Yeah,
And like, I totally understand what you're saying and agree with you as far as like, there's something really special about pizza.
there really is. Yeah, it's so layered and it's something that anyone can do, but not everyone can do it well. And it's constantly evolving. I would say the pizza I started with, like when I very first started, even it's completely different than what I do now. Even at my restaurant, like we opened almost 10 years ago and it's a very different product I think that we serve in a good way.
Yeah,
I
no.
think it's only gotten better.
Yeah, I totally understand that. And then I saw, who did you study under? It was someone who's a really great.
Tony Gemignani. So I came back from Italy and I was looking for jobs in pizzerias, and he had actually just opened up a place like in San Francisco where I was living at the time. And I took one of his classes and I kind of just, asked him a million questions until he gave me a job.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so awesome. So this is kind of your start of like going from having the interest to like really starting to make pizza and like with the idea that you're going to have a pizzeria.
Yeah, exactly. I come from a family who's in restaurants. We've owned bagel stores for like 35 years. I think we've been
Wow.
open. And so I always, worked in food. My family's always been in it, but pizza, it's a different thing, and I wanted it to be my own thing, I would say. And before for Tony and with him, I went to all the different pizzerias in San Francisco and would kind of like loom over the pizza makers and like check out like what kind of flour they were using and be one of those annoying customers, I'm sure. But um, and then I kind of realized like I would do a lot of test batches and I read so much and I am a very hands-on person and a hands-on learner. So I thought like my next step was to, work in a pizzeria. And I think that, you can't really, I mean, sure, some people do. Like I know a big thing now is doing pop-ups and then opening your own place. But I think the more you learn, the better. And I think everyone has something to teach you. I remember one of my chefs, this is pre-pizza, they always said like never work in a spot more than 2 years
Wow.
because you want to learn as much as you can. And you've like at that point hopefully learned like whatever they have to offer you. I don't know if that's true. Like I think you can still keep learning from people, as long as like whoever you're working for has that thirst for knowledge as well. But
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And then how did you get the idea to launch Audrey Jane's Pizza Garage? Like, going from studying under like pizza chefs and getting all this experience, like, okay, now this is my idea, this is my vibe for my pizzeria.
that also shifted for us. So I moved back to Boulder, which is where I grew up, and my whole family is here. And my brother is my business partner. Like we wanted to open something together. He's very smart with everything on the business end of things. Like I drive more in the creativity and day to day like management, and
Mhm.
he's great on more of like the numbers and that kind of stuff. So we knew we wanted to open a pizzeria. I like at Tony's, I mostly did Neapolitan. So I kind of had an idea in my head to do more, I guess people now call it like neo-Neapolitan. I didn't know if I wanted a wood fired. I think I was always kind of thinking like an electric oven with smaller pies and, more sit down beer and wine. But we looked for a couple of years and we like couldn't find a space that we liked or that we could get. Boulder is very expensive. I don't know if you've ever been here. Like a lot of places now,
Yeah.
but Boulder's always been on the higher end of rents. And we found a few spots that fell through, and then the location that we have now, we couldn't have any alcohol because it was too close to a school, which like in Colorado or in Boulder at least, I think it's all Colorado, you can't be within 500 feet of any school to serve alcohol. So we went back and forth if we should get it, and then we ended up just kind of changing our concept to be more of a slice house. So serving the more bigger New York style pizzas and doing fast casual. So it's like all done at the register. We don't serve alcohol. I'd say like 80 to 90% is all takeout.
Hmm.
And it served us well. Like we've done really well there, and it kind of we didn't have the headache of dealing with alcohol and the late night crowd.
Yeah.
So it kind of shifted, and we also went through a lot of different names. I don't know. I know you come from a family background in pizzerias as well, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's really also hard to name places because a lot of them are already taken or trademarked. And so
Yeah.
a couple that we really liked, they like we couldn't use. And then we thought of like the pizza garage. And then my dad kind of like insisted on, or he thought it would be a really good idea to have my name in front of it
Yeah.
because so our bagel stores are named after like his great grandfather, and I think people really like to have that connection or like that attachment to a name, and they that's the persona of the restaurant, and it gives it its feel. And it has like I'm not the kind of person who likes to always be in the spotlight, and if I am, I can have to force myself to be.
Yeah, me too.
I guess. But it's like I love over the years, like we've had so many like little girls or parents come in, they're like, oh right, like I named my little girl Audrey Jane or I'm Audrey Jane, and it's I don't know,
Oh,
that's been really special, honestly.
that's,
Um,
I love the name
yeah,
Three. It's great.
yeah. So the name kind of came about in a roundabout way, but in the end, it fits.
Yeah, it's unique. It's really, really cool. Our pizzeria is called Diarc's Pizza. It's Diarc Andrew,
Okay.
but it's just a shortening of our name. And my
Uh-huh.
grandfather started it up in 1960,
Wow,
which
that's amazing.
for, yeah, 65 years ago, and my dad still runs it. But in that
It's
town,
so
it's
great.
the Diarc family. Everyone knows the Diarc family because we've had
Yeah,
the place forever.
that's so great. I love that. And do you work there?
So I now do the marketing. I've been doing the
The
marketing for
marketing.
them for a lot of years, but I pretty much like from 9 years old, I was like folding boxes. My grandfather paid me like 10 cents a
Yeah.
box. And then like I worked there my whole life, like, dishes and,
Hmm.
bus tables and then sauce and cheese and ran the ovens and ran the register. And that was kind of like you made it when you were on the ovens, you were like, 18, 17, like that was your job when you were like the adult in the pizzeria.
Totally. So great. But also like so important. I feel like so many kids these days don't work when they're like high school aged, and for me, I think it builds a good foundation just for anything you end up doing in life.
Yeah. Yeah, it builds a lot of character, and it was also like my whole family worked together there, so like it was like a
That's nice.
bonding of like having the business with your family, I think is really special.
It is, yeah. We have one of our bagel stores is like right next door to our shop, and obviously I said my brother's my business partner, but like we see my parents every day, and my sister like by. It's very much a family business, and everyone is always in and out, which is
Yeah.
great. Like I love it. Luckily, we all get along really well.
Yeah, I love that too. That's definitely one of the best parts. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite things to talk about, which is food. Let's talk about your menu.
Yeah. So when I designed my menu, I wanted it to, offer things that traditional pizzerias offer, but also have some things that are a little, more fun, I would say, or unique. And so we have some specialty pies that I don't think, nowadays it's a little more common, but we do like one of our big sellers is our Green Mountain. So it's like a pile of spinach with ricotta and garlic and Castelveltrano olives. And we do different things. Like one of our other popular ones is the spicy pig. It's got natural casing pepperoni. We make almost everything in house. So like we make all of our own sausage and meatballs and all that.
Mhm.
One of my favorite toppings is roasted jalapenos, so that appears a lot all over the menu. I like spice a lot, so
Yeah,
I think at one point I realized I'm like, maybe I should start doing some pizzas that like don't always have like a chili or some sort of hotness on them.
yeah, no, spicy
Um,
pizza's so good.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think, with any restaurant, it's the quality of the ingredients that really matters. So even if you get like a cheese pizza, we're using, what I think is the best tomatoes out there to make our sauce and cheese and like everything down, like our pepperoni is, it's hormone free. So I would say that's one of our big things. Like all of our ingredients are really important to us. And
Yeah.
the menu, back to the menu. We're
Yeah,
getting off track here.
absolutely.
We have a pretty simple menu. So if you come in for lunch or dinner, you can get a slice. We don't offer a ton of slices. We have like 8 pies every day, plus a couple, we do Sicilian style as well.
Mhm.
So we've got like 3 different ones of those, and then 7 total pizzas. And we do like a rotating weekly special pizza that you can get by the slice as well. And then to go pies, we do like a 16 or a 20-inch. So they're pretty large, but 2 sizes. And we also do gluten free. We offer 4 different salads and like sides of meatballs and cauliflower and a couple different sandwiches. But that's it. It's very pizza focused.
That sounds
And
so
that,
good.
I would honestly like, I would love to add homemade pasta to our menu, but we only have a pizza oven. Like if we were going to do it, it'd be on like a little burner in the back, and it's just not realistic. Like our space is 1,200 square feet.
Yeah.
It's just, we do what we can without making it too overcomplicated for my team.
Yeah, we talked about pasta too. We actually have a place down the street from us though called Rizzo's, and they've been serving pasta for
Mhm.
like, I don't know, 70, 80 years. And
Oh my
then,
gosh.
yeah, we were kind of like, we're set up for pizza. And then, to do the quality level of pasta and also do the pizza,
Yeah,
like, we're just going to stick with the pizza.
definitely. I mean, yeah, it goes both ways, but I think, stick with what you know and what you have space for.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's your number one bestseller?
I mean, probably like cheese and pepperoni, but I would say our spicy pig we've been on Triple D a couple times, and that one was on it. And people, like if they've seen the show, they'll come in and just like ask for that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Whether they like jalapenos or not, they're in for it. No, it's good.
That's
But
awesome. Yeah, no, I saw you guys were on there. That's like so amazing.
yeah, it was definitely a good boost for business. And every time they air the show, it was an experience. So we feel very fortunate.
Yeah, absolutely. And so your favorite is anything spicy, or what's your favorite pizza?
My favorite pizza, it shifts. Like if I were to go and order something from another pizzeria, I would say just like a cheese slice. But
You.
like the slice I eat every day is probably just like either pepperoni jalapeno or just jalapenos, like
Delicious.
roasted jalapenos, or
Yeah.
just cheese too. My kids are obsessed with pepperoni pizza, so I eat a lot of pepperoni pizza these days. But
All right, great. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm also like, we do a hot pepper. It's not a jalapeno. It's just like
Ooh.
it's like almost like this fluorescent yellow hot pepper. And I love a pizza with that. It's so good.
Yeah, it sounds so good.
So the most serious question of the podcast, do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
Oh my gosh. That's so funny. We were just talking about this because one of my friends posted something like, if you like al pastor tacos, then like you can't hate on pineapple on pizza because it's, a similar thing. It's al pastor tacos, right? Is that what I'm getting right?
No, I feel
Um, I would say I'm in like either camp. We don't do it at my restaurant because if we're going to do it, we're going to do fresh pineapple, and it's too expensive. There's so much waste and labor in the actual pineapple. So, if somebody's going to serve me like fresh pineapple on pizza, I would happily eat it. But I'm not going to like seek it out.
yeah, you know what? You and I are in the same boat. I'm not gonna like, if I'm making a pizza, I'm not necessarily gonna do that. But if someone offers me a slice of pineapple, I'll probably eat it.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably like fresh pineapple and like, you know, some sort of cured meats and jalapeno.
Yeah, and how,
It's probably delicious. But I don't know. I mean, I was always like very against ranch, and then we had so many requests for it that we finally just started making our own, and you know, it's really good. I hate to say
yeah,
it, but like homemade ranch is it's delicious on
it's
pizza.
delicious.
On like dipping your crust in it, it's so good.
Yeah, no, it's super good. I went through a phase in college where I was in the ranch phase, like for sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I never really had, and I always just, I did mostly like Neapolitan pizza when I was younger and started in pizza, and I know it belongs on that. Like I think there's a time and a place for everything. But like we do New York style pizza, I wouldn't say it's traditional, like it's not as like sturdy as all or New York style pizza, but it's great. Like the crust, you don't want to leave the crust and it's great on its own, but it's also really good dipped in like our spicy honey or our ranch.
yeah, your pizza, it just looks like thin and delicious.
It's very thin. Yeah, it's very light. Like we do 100% sourdough,
Mhm.
and a pretty long fermentation, and it's very light and airy. So yeah.
Really, really
The
nice.
dough is very important to me. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah, that's an important element for sure. So, what does the future look like for Audrey Jane's Pizza Garage?
Lately we've been actually looking at some spots finally, like another location, but I go back and forth. Like we finally, not finally, like, every crew you have that works for you, you go through phases. I was always like super hands-on and then I had kids and I am not there as much. So it's taken a while just to get it very, very steady and like so it feels good in there.
Hmm.
Um, but I I think we will eventually open another location. My boys are 3, and I think like last year I was so adamant, like we're doing this, we're like getting another location, we're opening, and now I'm like they have like 1 or 2 more years before they're in school full time, and like I'll have all this free time. So I think yes, there's something in our future, but maybe not for another year or two.
Sure, yeah, and that time goes by so fast. The next thing you know,
Yeah,
they grow up like so quickly.
that's what I hear, and now I actually believe it. It is wild, like how fast it goes, and I think I always was like, oh, I want to be one of those parents who just goes right back to work. And I have like, I'm the total opposite. Like, I want to spend as much time as I possibly can with them.
Yeah,
But
and you only
it's,
have so much time with them, and then they get older, and they're like, well, if they're friends, and things change.
yeah,
When they're little, it's like to enjoy that time.
I think that's what it is. And I think I'm always like wanting to do the next thing, but I don't know, we're in a really good place. Like, the shop is doing really well. Like, yeah, we'll see what the future holds. We're not moving backwards, but we'll find our next niche for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, and how do people find you guys?
So you can find us obviously on Instagram at Audrey Jane's Pizza. Online is just thepizzagarage.com. And that's kind of it. We're not on Twitter or any of those things, but
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, so I want you to go and follow them. It's Audrey Jane's Pizza on Instagram at Audrey Jane's Pizza. And then we have the pizzagarage.com that has a really cool website, has all the information about them. So follow them. Also go to Boulder, eat their pizza.
yeah.
I'm literally trying to figure out how to like book like a video shoot for a client out there so I can like come out there and eat pizza. Like but my whole basis of everything is where can I go eat? So
Are you based in New York?
so right now I live between like South Jersey and Tampa, Florida.
Oh, okay. My brother-in-law lives in Tampa. So we should be there more, but we go a couple times a year.
That's awesome.
Well, once a year. We go once a year. We'll go with that. Yeah.
Very cool. It's too cold right now in New Jersey, so we're down in Tampa, but when it's warmer, we'll go back up.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need some good pizza Rex next time we're out there.
Oh, I will give you a list. I have a whole top 10 list for here.
Do you? Oh, excellent. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. All right, Audrey, thank you so much for being on my podcast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yep.